um, as you read more into the character of Black Pete, it was like in the 18th century or 1800s that he was first portrayed as a Black Moor. Prior to that, he was never portrayed as anything other than like a black-skinned, like demon servant of Saint Nicholas. And so from like the 1850s on, he's been portrayed as somebody as a Black person by white people in blackface. But his history goes back a little further.
I was actually wondering if that was probably the case, because I happen to know in a lot of like older Scandinavian legends of like the Draugr, which are these undead who live in like basically burial mounds and attack anyone who comes in and like attack nearby villages, are thought to have blue or black skin. And this is a much older legend than like the slave trade. This is like a legend from, the 1100s or something. Right. So I wondered if it was maybe that. But it sounds like what you're saying is like these were sort of Norse folklores of just a black-skinned monster that later became racialized because people were like, hey, black skin, we're horrible. We can run with that.
Because they live in, isolated mountain towns of white folk, and probably when they found out that Black folk existed, there was probably some tie in their folklore for, and that's easy to say that like your average Joe who's working at the grocery store or whatever goes like, oh, Black people exist, well, this must be. That's probably not how it really happened. How it really happened was it was a specific writer rewrote the tale with illustrations of him as a Black Moor. And so now that gets around and that changes everything. So I look at it and I go, man, I just hate this. Every time I see this, it ruins my imagination train. So I was glad because basically for like the last 10 years, I do this. I read into it every Christmas because I love it so much. And this time I finally read deep enough into Black Pete where there was history beyond that. And I thought to myself, okay, well, I'm not going to let people being stupid ruin this for me. And I'm just going to attack this head on. I'm going to attack this head on, and I'm going to rewrite this. Other people rewrote this tale into something that I don't like. So I'm going to rewrite this tale into something I do like.
He is not an Arab. He is a frostbite skinned demon, and I demand that he be treated as such.
Yeah. And although I like that take, I didn't realize that take, the frostbite.
Yeah, well, that's where it came from. Is these really cold bodies that would end up looking sort of blue or purplish or even kind of black in death is why Draugr were portrayed as being black. And to be fair, like the Vikings knew Black people exist. Like the Vikings had extensive.
Yeah, they had boats. They weren't in the Alpine Mountains.
Right. Yeah, they had extensive contact with people in Africa, the Middle East, whatever. There were even like Black Vikings. But this is ideas of race, like the ideas of like black and white is kind of developed later. This was just spooky frostbitten corpse.
Right. So as I did that, this is a little off topic here, but this is, I'm curious about people's thought about this. For one, I was like a little nervous.
Sure.
To write this because, I don't want people thinking like I'm okay with mocking, other people or something like. I mean, I mock my family, but that's about it.
It sounds like you kind of wrote this for you.
I did. Definitely wrote it for me, but it did get me to thinking about the character Black Pete. And so in a lot of these towns, apparently, there's a big pushback trying to get rid of this character.
Right.
But there's whole holidays of this character coming through the streets and throwing candy to the kids, and they all love it and everything. And I was thinking, like, now this is a totally potentially shady thing to say, so correct me if I'm overstepping, but I think it sucks that all that fun would be taken away because people were jerks. So
Yeah.
it's like, I like the idea of it was rewritten to become something terrible. So rewrite it to become something not, you
Right.
know, and
I'm kind of two minds, but like I agree. I think it's sad if like this is a legend that goes back, much longer than like colonialism and European slavery and stuff. I think it would be sad if we couldn't find some way to like, I don't know, make it not just a racial caricature. But I can also
rewrite it into a deer monster if you want.
Yeah.
Rewrite it into a giant ladybug or a
right.
Whatever. I don't care. That all the kids care about is that some character is going to come running through the streets throwing them candy. That's the part that you don't want to ruin.
No.
That's really the part that I'm moving on to. Now the other one was done just for me. Black Pete is done just for me because I want demons. I like demons. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
But as far as like the celebrations in these places, they're trying to cancel it and put an end to it. And I would like to see them claim it and get a different character in there and keep hucking candy at kids.
Yeah, you don't want to cancel it just because the taste that's going to leave in people's mouth is, oh, we can't have our holiday anymore because of political correctness gone amok. And it's like, no, that's not really what's going on. I think there's a way to do this that's more deft, but who knows? And neither of us are, German. I'm pretty ignorant about all of this, so maybe there's more to it than that. But that's kind of my take with what little I know.
Oh no, absolutely.